To you all. You are all welcome to the entrepreneurship section on New Dawn TV International. And by name, Kolawole Oluwatimileyin Samuel. And today we are going to be considering a growth concept, business growth concept. So if this is the first time you'll be joining us on this platform, New Dawn TV International, either online or on site, this is the entrepreneurship section where various aspect around business is going to be discussed. All right. And if you have not before now, you know, liked the page or followed, this will be an avenue for you to, like New Dawn TV International page or follow us. And the benefit you are going to get from this is for you to be receiving notification on any of our upcoming programs. All right. Without any further delay, I'll be taking us through the growth concept, business growth concept. And if you are watching me on the screen at this, you know, point in time, it's either you are into a business or you have a particular business you would like to venture into. Or perhaps the word business, you've heard about that word before. Business. Either during your tertiary stay on campus or your undergrad or your secondary school level. Okay, so the word business, and also the place of growth, the growth and concepts. So when we define growth as an irreversible, all right, increase, an irreversible increase in size, in length, all right, in height, in weight. You can consider your own definition to it. And also, when you define growth, growth must be visible. You should be able to see a change in growth. All right. And another beautiful thing about growth is that it is irreversible. So in your definition of growth, certain measures or certain criteria should be considered. The place of increase is growth. All right. Your growth must also be measurable. That is growth. All right. So the ability to measure the changes that happened between last year and this year, you know, defines growth. All right. It must also be visible enough to make it growth. So I'll be showing something on the screen. All right. I'll be projecting something on the screen. Yes, on the screen we have five flower vase, and then the flower defines various stages of growth. You can see the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. Yes. Now, the ability to cross from the first stage to second and to the third down to the fifth stage really shows that the flower is growing. The flower is growing. And if you check, you will see that at stage 5, certain elements are in place at stage 5. At stage 5. All right. So, one of the things you are going to see is the place of flower. The place of flower. At that point, it shows this flower or this tree is what's growing. And then at this stage, you could see fruit. What that means is that every business, haven't cultivated your soil or your land, haven't planted your seed, all right, and you see your seed germinating, the next thing you should be expecting as a business person is a place of fruit, all right, the place of fruit. And that also defines productivity. Okay, it defines productivity. So the growth concept. The growth concept defines certain criteria you need to put in place to make sure your growth is defined, definite, and also your growth is measurable. Today, we are going to consider together three businesses. Three businesses, all right, that sell the same products. They also consider the same audience, all right. But the third business amongst these three businesses has a unique strategy. So, what that means is that we'll be considering business A and B to target the same audience. All right. They have the same operational base, including business C. But what differentiates business C from A and B is the place of strategy. The place of strategy. All right. Now, let's quickly see how this business functions with respect to this condition. And the condition is the same market, all right, and they sell the same products to the similar target audience. Similar target audience. Please go to slide number 4. Slide number 4. All right. Before me is table water. The reason why I'm considering table water is because it's a common substance or business that you and I can familiar with. So I considered an example that we can relate with very well. Table water. Now you could imagine three businesses selling the same product, table water, and then two of them target the same audience. Why the third one re-strategize, which happens to be business C. Now, certain things I would like us to identify from these three businesses. Number one, they have the same operational base. That's one. That factor is common to the three of them. The second factor is the place of audience network. Okay. We are going to consider business A and B targeting the same set of audience, and business C that has a unique business strategy. Please follow through. All right. In business A and B, what we are going to see, all right, what we are going to be able to identify is the place of price competitiveness. All right. The place of price competitiveness. All right. Now, the reason why they will all both of them will compete for price is because they are selling the same products. That's number one. The second factor is because they also target the same audience. All right. And then the third factor is because they have similar branding and packaging strategy. All right. And then the next thing is they run similar promotions and advertisements to the same audience. Hence, this place of price, all right, price competition price competition. All right, there's going to be price competition or price war. Price war. What that invariably means is that because business B is trying to make sale of the same item, business A is also trying to make sale of the same item. Both of them are targeting the same audience. And if business B realizes that business A is gaining attention, all right, to itself or to its domain, all right, even though they are selling the same item at the same amount of, let's assume they are selling the same amount, they are selling the item at the rate of let's 15 naira. All right, 15 naira. You are going to have your audience network being divided. That is one. Secondly, you may also not make meaningful sale at the end of the day. If time is given with respect to quarterly, do you understand? In the long run, you may not be able to sustain such a business. And that is one of the reasons why we need to consider the strategy involved when we are selling the same product. And that is one of the things that we'll be considering using business C strategy. Perhaps your business is in this category and you want to thrive, you want to rule the markets. You need to understand the place of price war. All right. All things being equal, you are targeting the same audience, you have the same pricing, all right, and you want to make meaningful sale. And at the end of the year, you want to make sure your growth is measurable. Then you need to be able to pay attention to all these things. Because the majority business or businesses have all these factors play out, which in the long run, affect, negatively impact or affect their business. Now, let's quickly consider the potential outcome we are going to see in business A and B. Kindly take note of the following factors. The first factor is high competition and price wars. All right. So the first factor between business A and B is they both compete primarily on price. Second one is use similar branding and packaging. Then the third is they sell through the same distribution channels and then the similar promotions and advertisements. They also target the same customer segment with identical messaging. So if we have certain businesses operating, in this, using this, all these elements, all right, if they have the elements in place, then you should expect the following as the outcome, all right, of such a business. And the potential outcome is in my next slide. That is high competition and price wars. Before now, I define what price war entails or is. Price war is a situation whereby two or more businesses are trying to, sell their products. And the process of selling their product, they are bidding for the same set of customers. And during that period, you are what? Adjusting your price such that you are able to retain the market, attract the customer to make sales of your products. And then in a situation whereby there is price war, then your profit is going to be what? Affected. That is one of the things you are going to see, all right, when there is price war. Your profit is going to be affected because the product that is meant to be sold at the rate of 50 naira or 100 naira, you guys are selling this item to the same audience, all right? You have the same operational base, you use the same strategy, you understand? And then because there is competition, you want to reduce your price in order to attract customer for your business to, gain the attention of your audience. Hence, what you want to do is to what? Reduce your price so that you can attract a customer to buy from you. So, hence, in such a case scenario, there is going to be what? A reduced profit margin. Because when you reduce your price, your profit is being affected. So, the next thing we are going to also observe as the potential outcome is the limited customer loyalty. Limited customer loyalty. Now, let me quickly explain what this entails. Customer loyalty is, you have a particular customer always buy from you. He or she always patronize your business. That is customer loyalty. In season, out of season, you have such customer always come to you to buy from you. But in a situation whereby, you know, your product is not unique, all right, you have you can easily access the same product elsewhere. So such a customer, if distance is considered as a factor, such a customer would rather prefer to buy the same item, at a nearby shop. So you see now, so customer loyalty is limited because you have you are selling the same products. You also have the same audience and you operate your business within the same locality. Do you understand? Yes, limited customer loyalty. And another factor that may also play out, when there is in business growth concept, when you are selling the same products, targeting the same audience, all right, and in the same location, is, taking for instance, for most businesses that sell their product on credit, all right, you sell your product out on credit. The person bought from you last week, he bought from you few days ago, all right, still on credit. Now the time that he or she now has money, he will not come to you, all right, to buy the same item from you, but rather buy it in a nearby shop or business that is closer to where it stays. You see now, you see that the loyalty of the customer to your business is limited. So those are the factors that play out when this happens. Hence, it will affect the growth of your business. All these things affect the growth of business. Now, another thing that we also see as a potential outcome is minimal brand differentiation. Yes, this is a factor because you won't be able to differentiate the uniqueness of A from B. All right? You will not be able to differentiate the uniqueness of A from B. You consider the product to be the same, and then instead you will consider, patronizing the one, giving distance interval, you will consider patronizing the one that is closer to your domain. So growth is low and heavily dependent on market fluctuations. So this is another potential outcome when you sell the same products and you also use the same strategy. So despite selling a quality product, both businesses struggle to stand out because customers see little or no difference between them. Yes, and that's one of the reasons why you see, businesses running for 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5 years with no definite change. All right, no definite change, and then you see that come to play because they have the same product, the same strategy, the same location, and then because of that, price war will set in. And if you don't consider your strategy rightly, it will affect your business, affect your profit, and if care is not taken, such a business may collapse. Now, let's quickly consider the case scenarios. Scenario 2, all right, of the same business, all right, with a unique business strategy, all right, selling the same product but have unique business strategy, all right. The potential outcome of that is going to be, or before the potential outcome, let me quickly take us to what this business C, may likely put into consideration that will now, give birth to a positive outcome that makes its growth measurable. The first one is positions the product as premium and health focused. All right, health focused. You and I know the purpose or the benefit of taking water. All right, you take water for the sake of your health because our body, is composed of over 70% of water. And to avoid dehydration, you know, taking clean water, and also for health's sake, you don't want to take anyhow water. All right. So you place your products to be premium before your target audience. Perhaps this is the strategy that is not in place, between business A and B. All right. So you consider it to be health based, and this would also, you know, uh, uh, this is one of the factors that you may consider when you are making the advertisement of such a product. So then the second factor is uses distinct branding and eco-friendly packaging. Fine, it may be the same product, all right, but you know what? You want to package your own product different, differently from the way business A and B, do their own packaging. All right. Though you are selling the same product, but the style of packaging is different. Okay. Good number of businesses use black leather. You want to anything you want to buy, you see black leather, all those things. Haven't bought such an item, then the next thing is they use this common leather. Just maybe you consider a branded leather, or okay, the leather could be branded after your business. You write the phone number, the address of your business, the contact number on the letter. Though the water may be seen to be a common product, but something has changed, and then it has made the water to be very unique. So you have placed uniqueness on such a product. So if the person wants to, you know, still recommending the same product, do you understand? But they will recommend your brand this time. Okay? They will recommend your brand. Even though the same product can be gotten elsewhere. But you know what? The reason why they will recommend your brand is because of the touch of packaging that you have added to it. You know, most people buy products not for the sake of, the look of the item. Oftentimes, people patronize some businesses or they go for some product because of the look, the first attraction. All right. So the place of packaging, you know, is also very much important as a strategy that, you may consider to differentiate your business from other businesses. Okay. Even though the taste may still remain the same. You understand? The taste may remain the same. So target a niche market. Target a niche market that is health conscious and environmentally aware consumers. So this time around, you have a broad audience, but this business knows that, it doesn't need to target all the audience. The audience looks very broad. So he needs to narrow his own audience and consider unique set of people or audiences that can patronize his own business. And this is how this business will go about it. He consider what the product stands for. All right. Then amongst the broad audience, the seller is able to divide those audiences and place them into different network. Then, having differentiated those audiences, he now realizes that okay, this set of audience, are the unique audiences that my products, need. So you don't want to target all the people around your business. All right. You consider certain people, unique individuals, group of people, businesses, or organizations that you know, will place value on what you sell. In fact, plus packaging, you can choose to sell your products, by at your own price. Yes. Taking for instance, you have hospital or healthcare around your business. You can, make business with them. They are your unique audience. Healthcare is your unique audience. All right. You consider indoor banking industry or sector around your business. They are your unique set, your unique audience that you can consider. All right. So you go for the high net worth set of people. All right. Why you limit your attention to the set of people that may likely interface your business by walking down to your shop. All right. So you need to consider your strategy rightly. Then the next thing that business C consider, all right, to differentiate itself is the place of storytelling. The place of storytelling. I do tell people that you need to know the product you are selling. And your ability to communicate your products defines the level of your patronage. Okay? So tell me why I need to buy from you. Tell me why I need to buy your products. If you could not communicate your products to me very well and the reasons why I should go for the product. You see, in a situation whereby you have competitions around you, then you should be able to communicate your products before your target audience, provided that you guys are bidding for the same set of people for patronage. All right. Then another thing is prices based on value, not just cost. See, we have some set of people that the same products that you can get for 50 naira or 100 naira outside, you can get the same product for 500 naira. Yes, based on value. The reason is because number one, this water we can get it for 250 in the nearby shop. But if you go to hotel, all right, you don't negotiate their price. If you go to some places, all right, it could be a resort and all, they don't, the price of their items are not negotiable. It is based on value. The reason why you come to our resorts is because of the value you perceive we can offer you. The reason why you could come to our restaurants is because of the value you perceive we can offer you. Hence, automatically, the items around those locations becomes what? High. So what they sell this time around is not the product, but what? The value. Not the product, but what? The value. And you cannot negotiate it. So that is it. So that is business C. Let's now consider the potential outcome of business C. Potential outcome. The potential outcome is strong brand identity and recognition, higher customer loyalty, then improved profit margins. That is another potential outcome. Then sustainable growth driven by perceived value. All right. Although the product is the same, but you know what changes there is the what? The strategy. The product is the same, but what? Strategy differs. So strategy differs. So all these things are very, very much important when you are considering growth in a business. Now, by the time you want to differentiate the growth outcome of business A and B from business C, you will now realize that the growth of business C will be what? Measurable. Yes, you'll be able to measure the growth. But in business A and B, all right, when measured, you may not see a definite change in their growth. Yes, you may not see a change, an increase, something that is visible, all right, that you can plot on a graph. You may not be able to achieve that in business A and B. And when such happens, then when such happens, the end of the business is known already. All right, is known already. We are going to also consider key extractions and strategic insights. Key extractions and strategic insights. The key extraction is that the product does not compete. All right, the product does not compete, strategies do. Product does not compete, strategies do. Perhaps you consider certain businesses around your business to be these people are my competitions, they are my competitors and all, because you are selling the same product. No, it's not the product that competes. What competes is the strategy, because that is what will differentiate your outcome, not the products. And that is why you can see two businesses or three businesses or three people selling the same products. Given time interval of 3 years, you realize their outcome varies, or their outcomes are not the same. They sell the same products. All right, you can see, let's take for instance those people that are into fashion, or the tailor, maybe the common name they call them tailor. You see, with sewing machine, they are sewing the same thing, the same cloth. All right, but in the long run, you realize that one of them is prominent. One of them, make more sale, and then one of them has branches in other locations or other places, and one of them has more patronage. It's because of strategy. Because if their clothes were to be considered as a factor of competition, I tell you, you may not be able to differentiate their growth, and you may not be able to measure their growth. So what plays out as a factor when it comes to products is strategy. All right. Businesses rarely fail because of the product itself. They fail because of weak or undifferentiated strategies. So a strong strategy creates distance from competitors even when products are identical. When products are identical, when products are identical, all right, what that means is that you have the product to be similar. What will now help out, you know, to rule the market, what will help you to rule the market is the place of strategy. All right, is the place of strategy. Please take note. If there is to our online watchers, if there is anything that we take home at the end of this session, is this: is that products do not compete, but strategy do. So you want to, you know, go back to your drawing board and what? Re-strategize on how you position your market or you communicate your value. Another key extraction is that business A and B focused on similarity, while business C, all right, focus on differentiation. All right. And the differentiation I'm talking about there is the place of branding, market positioning, and also value. And that is why the way you communicate your value determines your patronage and your possible outcome. All right. Please take note. There will always be price war in the markets that sell identical or similar products. There will always be price war. Price war. Price war, like I earlier said, defines the adjustments that happen in pricing. Because A sells, both of you initially sell your product at the same amount, 100 naira. You realize that you are not making that quality sale, or A that is also located in the same site with your business is making more sales than you are. So you want to reduce your price or adjust your price. In a situation whereby such happens, okay, because you reduce your price to attract customer, then the moment you reduce your price, then you begin to gain the attention of your audience. Okay, you are making sales now. What business A will now do is to also adjust its price, okay, to attract the same audience to his business. So both of you are competing for the same audience. Hence, there be price war. Both of you are adjusting your price. Okay, a time will come whereby the cost price, okay, will not be affected. Okay, it will be affected, and then you no longer consider the place of profits. That is why price war will always lead to the end of every business when it comes to play. So, key extraction: business A and B focused on similarity, that is similar products, while business C focused on differentiation. So that is why business C will experience a measurable growth. Another thing that we are going to consider there is the competing on price is risky. It's risky. And you as a business person, you want to mitigate your business risk. So in order to do that, what you should do is to consider differentiation. All right, consider differentiation to mitigate the risk that may play out in your business. So when businesses rely solely on price, profitability suffers. So business C demonstrates that customers are willing to pay more when value is clearly communicated and consistently delivered. I communicated that earlier. When you use a resort, okay, you want to go for an outing, you have different options before you, and you now realize that, wow, this place um will resonate with your standard. All right, this resort, you know that's why when you are selling products, you need to consider your audience and place them in categories, break them down into categories. All right, and then there are some locations that only attract people that are classified, the high net worth set of people. So when you place a product to them cheaper, they consider the value of that product to be low. All right, the quality to be low. So they may not see value, they may not see the reason why they should buy such a product. Do you understand? So the way we, communicate our value is very important. Yes. So strategy shapes perception. That's another thing we should consider. All right. Yes. And then targeting the right audiences matter. So you don't consider everybody as your audience. You may be in the marketplace. All right. You see people moving up and down, running to and fro. All right. So you need to consider amongst those set of people or individuals, which of them can truly afford the worth of what you are selling. Perhaps that would help your strategy or how to re-strategize in communicating your value. Do not forget, people do not buy products, they buy value. Okay, they do not buy product, they buy what? Value. So you need to consider that. And long-term growth comes from strategic clarity. So your ability to effectively communicate your strategy rightly, you know helps your growth. All right, helps your growth curve. uh Please take me back to the first slide. Slide number 1. Yes, the first slide. So your ability to communicate your strategy rightly, makes your growth to be unique and measurable. If you check the first stage to the last stage, you will realize that you can measure the difference or the possible outcome between stage 1 and stage 5. That is what happens in a marketplace with clarity. That is what happens in a marketplace where value is well communicated, not the product itself. Because people go for value, not necessarily the product. The product, may be quality, premium, just name it. But your ability to fail in communicating the value that comes with the product may make the product unseen in the market. All right. In fact, despised in the marketplace. So, value communication helps your business growth journey. All right. This will be the end of our class today on business growth concepts. And if this is the first time you'll be joining us on New Dawn TV International, I will really appreciate you. You follow us, all right, and click on the like buttons that is currently showing on the page. And what this will do for you is to get notified in our subsequent program, so that you will not miss out of any future benefits that would transform your life, your business, and aid a visible growth in your uh, enterprise. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the day.